What's up everybody, Trinity here and welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Vampire State Building issue number 1. But before I get into that, please make sure you're subscribed, click the little bell and all of that good stuff. So, Vampire State Building issue number 1. Oh man, this book is being published by Ablaze Comics. And it's written by Angie, I don't think it's Angie, but I think it's Angie, and Patrick Renault. The cover artist here, the cover I've got is Inyuk Lee. The regular color is done by Charlie Adlard, and there's another one done by Guy Balby. And the interior artist is Charlie Adlard as well. And the colorist is Sebastian Girard. And the designer is Rodolfo Muraguchi. I could be butchering those names, and there on the inside is actually a shot of what the original cover kind of looked like, but a black and white version, and I'll show you those names right there so you can see those, because I'm sure I butchered some of those, and I do feel bad for that. Now, this book, this is a small publisher, Ablaze Comics, and I got to tell you guys, I really like this book. I can't wait to read this next issue. Now, this is the first in a 4-issue miniseries from what I take it. And I got to tell you guys, this book is really great. And, you know, I'm not... I don't know, maybe I am into horror when it comes to comic books and stuff, and even vampires. This book was absolutely great. The art in it was really good, and... even the coloring as well. I'll go ahead and open up one of the panels there and kind of show you some of the art there that's going on in this book. Again, you can see some of that. There's this really excellent panel in here as well. I want to show you as well about, just kind of as some of the horrific things are going on here that I think really kind of helps set the tone. This one right here. Check that out, man. Just some of the art going on in this book. Absolutely great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. Now, this book is it is a vampire tale. And pretty much what we see in this story, it opens up, you can see that it's like a tourist, the Empire State Building is a tourist attraction, and we see it looks like there's like there's people on a tour of the Empire State Building, as we got a guide taking them around and telling them just kind of, some of the history of the Empire State Building and things like that. And I guess there are renovations going on this building right now as well, on the Empire State Building. And we see they get to the top, the observation deck where you can look out over the city, and there's a couple nice little shots that they did here of it, and I thought it was really nice. I thought it was really well done, as they kind of get in and show you, I mean, it's not super highly detailed shots, but you can see just like some of the shots they did there of the city as the sun is setting. It looks like it's probably dusk time. And what we see, the story that we see here is we open up and there's these two cousins, a male and a female, as they're sitting there having a conversation. They're waiting to meet some friends, and the female cousin asks her cousin, she's like, hey, what's going on? What's wrong? Like, he's getting ready to join the military, and she's just kind of poking and prodding, just asking him some questions, wondering exactly why, because his father had been in the military before as well, and had obviously met his demise, I'm guessing, in the military while he was deployed in Afghanistan. And that by there's a little lighter that the guy has there that he was looking at. And she's asking him what's going on, why he decided to do this, what's he running from, is what she's trying to get out of him. And we see that they are soon met by their friends who meet them there on the observation deck, as they were kind of looking out for them to meet them there. They're going to have kind of a going away party. And she's sitting there asking him all these questions, but then we see that all the friends show up, and it looks like he had recently broke up with his girlfriend, who actually happened to be there as part of the going away party. And then there's also, it seems like there's kind of an insinuation as he sees one of his friends, his good friends, and his girlfriend. It seems like that maybe he had a fling with with his friend's girlfriend as well. I'm not for sure. I could be completely wrong there, but we see they kind of have a little bit of a conversation, and then we just see a couple of other people people that are there in the building working. You know, we see an employee that is getting ready to leave for work, and, you know, forgets some of her stuff, has to go back up to pick some of her stuff up. We see there's a mail courier that shows up to deliver some, you know, just some mail and everything. You know, in New York they have a lot of those, you know, bicycle couriers and things like that. And he shows up, and you can see this courier sitting there kind of hitting on this girl. You know, he has a thing for, you know, we see them kind of getting into a conversation and talking. And what happens then is you know, it's nighttime setting, and there was these renovations that were going on. We see that the people doing the renovations actually stumble across what looks to be possibly a tomb, and they opened it up. And that's kind of what set this whole thing off. The next thing you know, we see that there are some. It looks like there's like homeless people that have basically kind of been taken over, and they become vampires, and they storm the building, and they're just attacking people. Security is there, and they start shooting at these vampires and things like that, as they are causing just like a complete, just like total chaos. It becomes a pretty bloody scene right there at the entrance, and then throughout the building, and they quickly envelope the building and start filling it up, and you know, just taking the lives of civilians. And you know, they're vampires, man. You know, they're pretty strong, and they're pretty fast and agile and all that stuff. So we see everybody's kind of in a panic trying to get out of the building. Some people end up getting trapped in the building, and of course this guy and all of his friends end up getting stuck there as well, and they all kind of get separated in the middle of all the panic. And of course this guy ends up, and I can't remember his name. I want to say his name is Terry, but I could be completely wrong there. Let's see. Yeah, Terry is his name. And she's, you know, Terry is a he ends up actually getting separated with his ex-girlfriend. And, you know, as they're all in a panic and trying to survive. Well, through all this panic, as the vampires are spreading apart, they, like I said, they got separated from the friends, and they actually end up getting, you know, Terry and his ex-girlfriend end up getting stuck in this room with this girl who we seen had to go back upstairs for her keys and whatever else she forgot, and this courier as well. And they locked themselves in the room. And it's kind of there's a funny line that she uses when she sees him, is, you know, kind of reminiscent of Terminator. She opens up the door and sees him and says, "Come with me if you don't want to die." I thought it was kind of funny. Played very funny kind of in the story. And so we see they end up holed up in this room. And we see, you know, as there was a call made out by the security officers as they were there shooting down the vampires and everything. And then eventually we see that the building gets pretty much shut down, shut off, and as the authorities begin to surround the building. And it appears that the authorities, the police there, think that it's just like some terrorists. They're not aware that it is vampires. And we can see, you know, just all the kind of usual protocols that the authorities would use in trying to shut down a building and stop a terrorist invasion or attack from happening at a place like the Empire State Building. And that's really about all we got out of this story. And I gotta tell you guys, it was really exciting, and the art in this book was really well done. The colors in it were excellent. I can't wait to read this issue number 2. And again, it was a great setup, and I gotta tell you, it does seem like it follows a lot of like the usual typical horror story, vampire kind of tropes, where, you know, everybody's kind of holed up in one thing, and they're on the 82nd floor, and they've got to get down to the very bottom to get out. And of course, you know, the vampires start at the bottom, and they're working their way up. So this room that was opened up was obviously like a tomb of some sorts, and you know, I'm sure we'll find more out about that in the coming issues. And again, this is only a 4-issue series as far as I know. And again, I thought the art was really good. And apparently the artists who did this are the same artists who were doing the Walking Dead series. And that actually just recently ended. But altogether, I thought this was a very, very good issue. I can't wait to read issue number 2. And if you guys are into vampire horror stories, you guys will definitely want to go check this out. Now, at the end of this book, there was also a nice little short story that I don't know, it's a 4-page, a 4-page review of this other book getting ready to come out called Unsacred, and it gives you just like some of the little stuff there, you know, some of the art and some of the things that are getting ready to go on this Unsacred issue number 1. Again, this one looks like it's going to be kind of I don't know, probably some like crude and adult humor in there. I thought it was pretty funny. Probably not anything I would actually go out there and buy and read, but that's why they put that in there. Because this is Ablaze Comics is a small publisher that I believe they just started out, and I think this is their first title. I could be wrong there, but they have plans for doing a handful of issues getting ready to come out this year, and then they actually it sounded like they had a lot of issues getting ready to come out over the next year as well. So be paying attention for Ablaze Comics. And again, the preview they had in here for this other issue, not anything I'd probably read, but some of you guys might be into it. It seems a little juvenile, a little perverse, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't know that I'm looking to read that story in a comic book. My pull list has been getting pretty heavy here, but I don't know. I thought this book was really exciting, but let me know down in the comments below. Did you read Vampire State Building? If so, what are your thoughts? And if not, is this something that you might be into? I can tell you, for one, I'm excited about reading this next book, and especially if it's only 4 issues, I can tell you the next 3 issues are going to be very action-packed and very fun to get to. But that's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell so you get notifications anytime I've uploaded new content. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't, give it a thumbs down. It's all good. I completely understand. But while you're at it, make sure you share this video with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Happy reading, get out and support your local comic book shop, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.